This video is by Straight Goods News, SGNews.ca.
Elements of it will come back in the future in a different form after the throne speech or in some other way.
The fight against C30, I think, was a huge victory for ordinary Canadians who stood up and told Vic Taves, no, we are not going to sit back and allow this Conservative government to do online snooping of our activities. It's a huge victory. We should celebrate it. And we need to send a message to the government, don't try and pull this kind of stuff again.
Do you think they would? I mean, or do you think, do they seem contrite enough that they won't?
Well, contrite and Vic Taves, those aren't two terms you see in the same sentence usually. I think what we know is that this kind of desire to be able to snoop on average Canadians, to have maximum authority for law without any checks and balances, this is hardwired into the Conservative DNA. But fortunately, the Canadian public care about privacy. They care about our digital future. And they pushed back, and the Conservatives blinked, and Mr. Vic Taves has been in the doghouse ever since.
Why do you say that it's hardwired into the Conservative DNA? What else have they done that is anything like this?
When you see basic questions about the right of government to set up a snooping system online, to insist that telecommunication networks actually build in back channels for spying, and when the first questions that are asked, Vic Taves jumps up and says, anybody who's not standing with us is standing with child pornographers. That was one of the viler moments in the last number of years in parliamentary life. It's hardwired. This is where they want to go, but they're not going there because between an organized opposition and the New Democrats and public pushback, this government decided to push.
In this new era of enhanced decorum, should we expect the opposition and the NDP, for that matter, to say thank you to the government for not reintroducing that?
Well, we haven't seen them actually take any responsibility for it. I would love to thank Mr. Vic Taves. I would say, Mr. Vic Taves, thank you for owning up for the fact that you called average Canadians child pornographers. I would do that, but I haven't seen him show any responsibility for it. Okay, tomorrow's Ash Wednesday. This is Shrove Tuesday. So I don't have to go to Mass today, but you know, it's like you have to confess your sins in order to be forgiven. So I'd love to forgive them, but they haven't confessed yet.
As you pointed out, Vic Taves, when he was fighting for the bill, said to a Liberal MP, saying, if you don't support the bill, then you're signing with the child pornographers. Given the fact that the government's abandoned the bill, if we were to follow Vic Taves' logic, is it fair to say that the government now sides with the child pornographers?
Well, you know, certainly.
That's not seriously.
No,
that's the logic he was using.
This is the kind of, I think, really vile politics that I think offended Canadians so quickly, which they responded. Is it the right of average Canadians to protect their privacy? They shouldn't be denounced as child pornographers. The government's never accounted for that. So I don't want to go whether Mr. Vic Taves is now on the side of the people that he accused of being supporting child pornographers. The fact is, we think it's really important to have strong laws to protect people in the internet age, whether it's internet fraud, whether it's privacy breaches, whether we can go after criminals when they need to be. But that doesn't mean taking away the basic protection that Canadians have enjoyed under the court system in our parliamentary and our judicial system.